we've got the hair created, so let's just see how it reacts to our current scene. We'll just click play for now. Now we've got our cape flowing and the hair is actually following what the cape is doing, and that's because by default Maya has realised that there's already a nucleus in the scene, so it's just saying use the same nucleus. You can change it to use a different one if you've got more than one in the scene, but for now this is ideal because we want the hair to do exactly what the cape is doing. So that just saves us a bit of a job there. So let's rewind that. Let's select the hair, open up the options. Let's turn on our interactive playback. But what I'm going to do first is select hair system shape here. You can see we have the nucleus attached. We're going to select our hair system shape. Click select. We'll go to solvers. We'll open this window, this menu again. Interactive playback. And there, the hair is moving. Now again, if we wanted the hair to fall down over her shoulders, we would probably use collision objects to do that, just so the hair would fall naturally and it wouldn't fall into the mesh. But because, like the cape, the hair is blowing behind the head, this is a static image, so we don't have to worry about how the back of the head looks. We're just going to not bother using collisions. Again, it will just ramp up the simulation time, and it'll give you a lot more things to play around with. We're just going to keep things simple and just focus on the main areas. So the hair's moving, but it's not moving as wildly as the cape, but it's using the same settings. So if we edit the nucleus, it's going to also edit the cape. Luckily, the hair has some other extra options built in. If we've got our hair system shape selected, if we go down to turbulence, you can see we have some more options in here. So let's just turn up that intensity. And you can see the hair is now waving all over the place. It's looking a lot more wild and a lot more interesting. Now obviously we can also go in, adjust the frequency, adjust the speed, and just tweak those just to get it flowing in a much nicer way and a much more interesting way, rather than it just being flat. So that's looking a bit more interesting, a little bit better. What we can also do is open up our dynamic properties and start to play around, just like we did with the cape, start to play around with how the hair is actually, the properties of the hair. And we've got things in here like bend resistance. If I turn that up, you see, it stiffens it up so it's not as bendy. We drop this down. So this just sort of brings it away from the head. If we drop it to 0, you see there's just no resistance there. So let's try setting that to 1, and that just brings it closer to the head. So maybe we want to set that at 2. Just to pull it away from the head a little bit. And obviously this depends on how you want the hair to look. Maybe you do want the hair to be quite off the actual scalp, something like this. We have other options in here, the stiffness. Again, that just makes the hair stiffer from the root going out. Stretch resistance, just like with the cape, it stops the hair stretching when there's too much of an influence on there. Twist resistance as well. Extra bend links, that just smooths out the actual how the hair bends. Now as you see, we've adjusted these and the hair's gone a little bit wild, so what we can do is just rewind, activate interactive playback again, and then we can go in and adjust those again. So extra bend links, we can add a couple of those in. It's just going to soften how this bends around here. So those, we can just play around with those again, just to get something that we're happy with. So I can leave you to just tweak those to your heart's content. We're just concentrating on the dynamic properties and the turbulence for now. Again, we could turn that down, flatten the hair off, ramp it right back up.